Okay, so it seems like recently Bao the Whale has been kind of facing a little bit of criticism and backlash, or whatever you want to call it, all over her face reveal. Now, of course, we talked about the face reveal itself in a previous video, but it seems like now she's been posting more with her face included and more IRL kind of videos and pictures and whatever you want to call it. And people are starting to question, well, is she really a VTuber now? That is the question that's been going around, because obviously you can see in her bio it says VTuber, and of course she has been a VTuber. But now, of course, there has been a lot of posts which obviously have been just IRL posts. All of these are IRL, right? None of these are VTuber posts. Okay, here's a VTuber post from August 6th. Again, IRL, 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 VTuber, IRL, IRL, and obviously that was whenever she face revealed, right? So again, obviously the ratio between VTuber to IRL posts is pretty high. And a lot of people are starting to call into question, well, does this really call you a VTuber? And of course, here is one of the posts that blew up, got 1.1 million, and this is the one that was mainly affected by a lot of the kind of criticism that people had, I guess. Obviously, here it is saying Bao accidentally leaked her face. So this is the clip.
On the... Oh! Oh, that's right. I can show my face now.
That's right, that's right, that's right.
Oh, that's right, that's right.
Ready? Pose.
Oh.
So yeah, obviously she like forgot, like, oh wait, I can show my face now. I don't have to be worried about it or anything like that. But obviously a lot of people have been getting pretty mad in the replies saying she ain't even a VTuber anymore. Just change your description, my God. Saying, so does she still count as a VTuber now? Wait, how is it accidentally posting if you're on Twitter? Saying it certainly opens up more doors if she's willing for someone, if they're willing to show their face. So you can't blame the logic here. And 100%, right? I think that honestly, showing your face for content is actually it will give you more opportunities. It gives you opportunities, especially with sponsors and IRL events and things like that, where you don't have to worry about things getting leaked. You don't have to worry about, obviously not going to an event or whatever out of those worries. So yeah, obviously showing your face and being someone that, does content, as a flesh tuber or whatever you want to call it, right? It makes it easier because you don't have to worry. But of course, a lot of VTubers become VTubers because they don't want to show their face and whatever, and that's totally fine too. But obviously you just end up getting a little bit more restricted as to what you can do. But there are many kind of helping factors that kind of have improved that, though. For example, like VTubers going around conventions, now people go around on like little iPads and things like that, right? But if you were to go to a convention as someone who is face revealed, then you could probably just turn up, in person, which obviously, would give you more of a feel of the convention. But of course, there's been a lot of quote retweets. For example, this one saying, "Oopsie, totally accidentally showed my face during an IRL stream with my makeup, eyeliner, and lipstick done. Oh no, I'm an Asian cutie. Whoopsie. Let me just post it on my profile." Which obviously, I mean, yeah, that is like. It seems like she's been farming the kind of face reveal thing pretty hard over the past couple of days or so, which, to be fair, I mean, fair enough, right? It's gotten a lot of views, and obviously making posts like this do kind of end up farming, so I'm not going to falter for that, right? I don't really care if people say, oh, I accidentally showed my face on stream. But yeah, people saying she's not even cute, lol, just a mid-woman. Obviously, again, that's entirely up to personal opinion. Saying odd how she has still considered a VTuber at this point. And again, obviously people saying official VTuber status revoked, which again, saying VTuber words are meaningless nowadays. They should just become streamers if they can't stay virtual. At this point, the V and VTuber means nothing with brawlers like this one accidentally. So saying, wow, looks like happy. That's crazy. I sure wonder what the V and VTuber stands for. What's even the point of being of VTubing anymore? Sigh. So yeah, I think it is more so just the fact of how much IRL content is going to be involved in the future, right? Because I think right now it's more so the excitement and things of essentially doing the face reveal that has got her posting her face, a bunch more, right? It seems like, as I said, most clips seem to be IRL clips of her now. Or pictures or whatever you want to call it, and it seems like, yeah, that is like kind of due to the excitement of the face reveal and the pretty positive reaction that she's had to that. But I wonder, whenever obviously this all calms down and she's started to obviously the whole face reveal things calm down, I wonder if things are going to go back to more VTuber orientated stuff, or is it going to stay to this level of IRL content? Because I think that, you know, obviously I'm trying to give her the benefit of the doubt here. I think that obviously if this content continues and if there is like this amount of IRL content, you know, in the future, like in like a year's time or whatever, then I don't think you could really be considered a VTuber anymore. I feel like, you know, you are not really VTubing. You know, it seems to be a lot of IRL content, which is fine, right? Of course, I think is also the thing too, right? You don't have to get tied down by the label of a VTuber or whatever. You can just become a streamer, right? That's totally fine too. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. And of course, if you got an audience from it, it doesn't really matter, right? But of course, you know, a lot of VTuber fans, you know, like to distinguish the difference between VTuber and not VTuber. Now, there are many VTubers out there who show off their face, right? And who obviously do IRL content and things like that. But obviously, as well, they like to at least keep the ratio pretty high in terms of VTuber to IRL streams, to the point where, yeah, it is mainly VTuber over IRL, which of course I think, you know, would still consider you to be a VTuber, at least in my opinion, right? But I think, yeah, it really comes down to the ratios of how much content you upload with IRL content and VTuber content. Now, obviously, a lot of people have been fighting back against it too, saying, I genuinely don't understand why some people have such a massive issue with VTubers doing IRL content. Like, who exactly decided that becoming a VTuber means signing a blood contract promising never to show your face, a body or outfits, travel or cosplay or anything outside of your model ever again? People are allowed to do both. You can love being a VTuber, love your character, love the community you built around it, and still enjoy making IRL content. If you don't like it, you don't have to watch, which, to be fair, I do think is true. And obviously, I think does come down once again to the ratios, right? I think that if you are, you know, doing IRL content, but also, you know, you also do the sit down, VTuber streams or whatever, I think that's totally fine, right? I think that, yeah, you're considered a VTuber, and I think that's fair enough. But obviously, yeah, if you are like posting like 90%, you know, IRL content and 10% VTuber content, then it's like when you start to consider, okay, are you really a VTuber, right? So there's a block button, a mute button, and there's an unfollow button. There's even this revolutionary technique called scrolling past it. What you don't need to do is make an entire videos tearing someone down, insulting them, questioning whether they're a real VTuber, or treating them like they personally committed a crime against VTubing. VTubing has evolved massively over the years. There isn't one sacred little rule book everyone has to follow. Some VTubers are completely anonymous, some do hand cam, some do them cosplay their models, some do convention IRL, some show their faces occasionally, some are basically hybrid creators who comfortably exist in both spaces, right? And again, I think, yeah, it really does come down to, I think, yeah, all of these are considered VTubers, and then it really comes down to this last one, basically a hybrid creator. And it depends, as I said, the ratio of that hybrid creator, right? How much are they VTubing? How much are they IRL content creating? And then we can really go into it, because if we go into what really makes a VTuber, you know, I feel like some people would argue the fact that I would be a VTuber, right? Guys, I'm a VTuber now, by the way. Just you know, I identify as a VTuber. So yeah, you got to call me that now. No, I'm joking. But you know, I used to have a VTuber model, obviously, a year or two ago, maybe it's 2 years. Oh my god, time flies. I used to have a VTuber model 2 years ago, right? But obviously, you know, I don't use it anymore. You know, but could I still be considered a VTuber? Probably not, because again, I don't make VTuber. You know, I'm not a VTuber, right? Right. That like I don't have a VTuber model anymore. Well, I still have it, but I don't use a VTuber model anymore. And I think it really does come down to that sense of when they stop using their VTuber model, I feel like maybe they won't be considered, because if we do still consider them, then I feel like I would still be considered a VTuber, right? Like I feel like that's the kind of argument that I feel like, and the same for other people that maybe stopped using VTubers. The same with, like, you remember whenever Pokimane did that random VTuber thing one time, trying to get in on the trend? You know, you could consider her to be a VTuber because she used a VTuber model one time, right? Like, I think it is pretty silly. I'm saying, and guess what? They're still VTubers. You're completely allowed to prefer traditional VTubing. You're allowed to dislike face reveals or IRL content. Nobody's forcing you to consume it. Which, yeah, I think, you know, it's fair enough. Obviously, some people have been, kind of scrolling through our account and just kind of looking at the fact that, yeah, there is a lot of, IRL posts and things like that, which we've obviously already looked at. who said, who exactly decided that? It's literally in the name of virtual YouTuber, which says virtual describes the persona such avatar used to create content, not a legally binding vow. I mean, it's still like a label though. I don't know. I think it's pretty interesting. But of course, there is a lot of dividing opinions on this. Lots of people think that, you know, it would still make you a VTuber. Lots of people think that it doesn't make you a VTuber. And again, there are some that are in the middle that believe some parts and different parts. But yeah, it's caused a pretty big, you know, kind of topic lately. But yeah, you have to let me know down in the comments what you guys think about this, because it's I don't know, it definitely does provide a look into what the future of VTubing could be like now that more people are starting to show their faces as a VTuber, right? But yeah, that's essentially all I got for this video. If you guys did enjoy it, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Also, go to GameStop, use my code Kazza, get 10% off. Again, they've got a ton of really cool stuff over there. Definitely recommend checking it out. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. That's all. See ya.